Hey, hello. Welcome back to the channel. And if you follow our channel every year, we virtually do the same thing every year, almost on the same day. And a year ago now, we had the combine in the shop. We have this S660, and you've seen it. It's been in a few videos. And what we do every year is bring it in the shop, and we have a fellow comes in and he goes over, he loosens every belt, spins every bearing, and tells us what's wrong, what has to be fixed. And he's done that and give us a list. And we go and round up all the parts at our local John Deere dealer. And Frank and I are out here yesterday and today, and we're trying to get it back together. I was going to go over how the combine works, and then I was on the YouTube the other morning, and I saw a YouTube from Quick Dick McDick. And if you follow Quick Dick McDick, he has a channel from out in Saskatchewan. He has almost the same combine. I think he's got a 9870 by the looks of things. I didn't see the number, but just going by the controls that he showed us, I think it's a 70 series. And it's probably a 98 because that's what they use. Anyway, he shows how the feeder house works. Actually, he had his brother. His brother is called the Dusty Wrench. And if you see Quick Dick McDick, Dusty Wrench looks a lot like Quick Dick McDick. And they take after their father on the channel. He's called Big Mustache Al. That's Quick Dick's dad. I'm here. Hi, hey, Frank, how are you getting along?
All right.
So, I'm out here handing wrenches to Frank. That's what all I do. And right now he's changing the chain on the feeder house. A lot of this stuff we're doing, it's preventative maintenance is what it is. Like the old chains probably would have run half the season, but that's not what we're interested in. We want to run the whole season. We just finished, or Frank just finished changing these two idlers. They made a little bit of noise, so we changed them out. Another thing we just changed out was these, the feeder house chain runs on these, it's hard plastic. I don't know what they are, but anyway, as you can see, my finger through there, they're wore out. There's 3 of them. Got those changed. You almost have to be a contortionist, don't you, Frank, to work on this thing? What we need is a trained monkey. Somebody that's got fingers 6 inches long. Anyway, those are down in the feeder house here. Kind of hard to get at. I think we're done. He's just putting the chain on. When he gets that done, we're going to be done with this feeder house. We can start putting it back together. One thing we did have to do, our stone trap door was all bent because we got these little nuggets were in the stone trap. And what the stone trap does, if you pick a stone up, it catches it before it gets to the rotor, which is kind of half important. Anyway, it done its job, but it bent the door and we couldn't get it open. So anyway, we got it ripped off, straightened, and put back on. And I'm coming around to this side of the combine. What have we done? Oh, this right here is what shakes the sieves in the back of the combine. And there's a bearing in here. Actually, there's 2 of them, one on this arm and one on this arm. And we changed, there's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. We've changed all of them. And in behind, there's a shaft that this runs on. We changed those bearings. We changed an idler back here. Yeah, there's an idler, one of these idlers up there. Oh, this idler down here. Where is it now? No, I've lost it. Oh, that idler behind the tire. We changed that yesterday. That keeps this belt here tight. It drives the front. And this combine, this is the top sieve. We pulled it out. It's got a few bent pieces and it could be fixed, but I think we're going to opt to buy a new one. This is the chaffer. She's puked her cookies. Gonna get a new one of those. That's $2,000 for that piece. And that's the bottom screen. The bottom sieve is good. We took it out. There's a couple of bent pieces, but we're just gonna straighten them. That's not a big deal. We, up on the engine, we've taken, there's two alternators on this combine. The bottom one was good. The top one had a bearing that made a little bit of noise, so we pulled that off. And I sent it over to Chatham alternators to get rebuilt. This piece here, we've got it. This piece goes on the end of the unload auger. And what it does, when you're unloading, it's spring loaded. And I'll maybe show you when we put that on. I'll get the video up there. It goes up on the inside of that auger. And when you're done unloading, the spring makes that flip up and it stops the dribble. Because there's always a little bit of grain still sitting in the auger. And that stops the dribble. And we've got a few belts to put on, not a big deal. This is what they call, I think they call this piece the Z panel or something. It is what the rotor runs against. And if you look here, you can see it's almost wore right through. This is where all the grain comes around and it rubs on that piece. So we've got a new piece to go on there. And well, we've got it apart. These are the bigger concave bars. We had the small ones in for wheat. No, we had the big ones in for corn. We'll put the small ones in for wheat. Sorry. I guess they're over there. Yes, my mistake. So that's what we'll do when we put it back together. We'll put the small rasp bars in for wheat. That's about it for now. Oh, unload chain. Every year we stick a new unload chain. This combine's done a couple thousand acres since we put a new chain in it last year. It's time. And we kind of keep the old chain for a spare, which we probably will never use. But last year we done this. I think Frank spent about 2 days out here on this combine last year. And we only had one minor breakdown all year, which that's why we're out here now. And, oh, this fan. There's a fan here. We're putting new bearings on it. They're not here, but I think Jared's picking them up this morning. What we'll do when we get this combine done, all the parts get here, we'll bring the other one in and do the same thing to it. Go over it. We've checked all the augers are good. Sorry, Todd, we're not going to need any augers this year. I'll maybe bring you back when we get her almost done. We're done with the feeder house now. We've just got to tighten everything up, button her back up, and that'll be done. I'll catch you later. Okay, we're back out here on the next day. We've got the throat done. Today what Frank's been doing, he put that bearing on the fan, and yesterday finished this those shaker bearings. They're done. And today we had to change that electric clutch. And that's like $2,400 for that electric clutch. And it did not want to come off. So we pulled it off with a big gear puller. And then that's when we determined that the clutch was wore out. So I was lucky I picked up a clutch yesterday in Chatham. And we changed that idler pulley. And, on the bottom of the unload auger, there's these bevel gears. And at first we thought they were good for another year. And then we looked in our package of parts and the new ones were in there, so we decided to take it off. Anyway, it's a fight to get the bottom's bevel gear off with the shaft the way it is. The bearings are pressed in. So, bearing goes in there. We're putting new bearings in it. Right now, Frank's using the gas axe to take that bearing apart, and we'll get that done. I ordered these sieves and chaffer yesterday. They won't be in for 4 or 5 days, and we're still waiting on the alternator. It's in Chatham getting over. It had a bad bearing, so we're doing that. And yet today we've got to change these 2 bearings here. And, we've already changed the fan bearing on this side. Frank did that this morning. And anyway, we're getting her rounded up. One of the biggest problems we have is changing these tie rods. And it isn't bad putting the new one on, it's getting the old one off. And I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Oh, and another thing we did yesterday is put these wheat, what do you call those things, Frank, for wheat?
Oh, concaves?
Concaves, yeah. We took we had the big concaves in for corn, and then yesterday we got done in that area, so we put the wheat concaves in. And that's about all. And like I said yesterday, if you want to see how this combine works, go to Quick Dick McDick. He has a very good video on, I think it's called Combine to the Finish. And it shows you all the things on how the combine works. I'll bring you back when we get more done on this project. Yeah, it's Monday morning and we're back out at the farm shop. And what we're working on today, what Frank's working on today, did I say we? I meant to say Frank. This, what do they call this fan, Frank? It's a fan on the back, on the back of the combine. And what it does, it sucks the trash out of the intake air, doesn't it?
Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, the mechanic that we have, he says those fans usually explode when the bearings go out of them. And we were lucky. We caught this when the bearings were making a little bit of noise. Anyway, it goes right here on the back of the combine. We've got it all tore off. And Thursday, I guess, we tore it apart. And those bearings are held in with a snap ring and pressed into place. So we had to go out to James Webster that works for us, out to James's place. He's got a big press those bearings out. And I grabbed them on Friday. And we're going to stick those in, Frank is. And hopefully get this fan back together. And we've also got somewhere here there's a little crammer auger. It's actually, it's hard to see, it's right here at the end of the leg that recycles the anything that needs rethrashed. And there's a little crammer auger there, and the bearings on it were growling, so we changed them. Other than that, the only thing left, we're waiting on sieves and for the combine. They'll be in, I think, on Wednesday. Today's Monday. And we're waiting on a self-tightening pulley on the serpentine belt on the engine. And I took the alternator to Chatham to get new bearings put in it. It was growling, and it's not back. And other than that, this thing is done. And I didn't want to make this video much longer, but I'll maybe bring you back when we get this auger and this fan put together. I can show you where that fan goes. The other thing we're doing as we go along is what they do when they go over this combine. They loosen every belt. And our job is to go along and tighten every belt. So we've got to do that yet. I've got some done on the other side. I've got to tighten as we go. Okay. So we got this fan put on. I guess you can, maybe you can see it in there. It's pretty dark. Anyway, got the new bearings put in that fan. That's all put together, ready to go. Belts on and tightened. And this is that auger on the rethrasher. Put new bearings in yet. Those bearings have been replaced. And got that belt tightened. Frank's tightening the belt down here. We are, once again, we're down waiting on parts. And so we're gonna leave this job. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave you with this video. You've all seen this combine when it was running. And we're only probably a half an hour away from being finished here. And we're 3 or 4 days away from getting parts. So I want to thank you for watching. And thanks for watching all the other videos. And I'll catch you on the next one.